Hey guys, this is a continuation of my Rizoma mirror install video. If you watched that, you saw that I had a bit of vibration, especially in the left-hand side of the bars, right around highway cruising RPMs, 4.5 to 5,000 RPM. And it was enough where I wanted to further try to add products, change products to get rid of it. I really don't want to have to choose between awesome mirrors and a bit of vibration, but I may just end up having to do that. Now, stupid me made a mistake and I had to actually make 2 orders to get all the parts I needed because, well, let's just say the instructions on all the websites could be a little bit more clear. But to break it down for you guys, very simply, if you want these reverse retro mirrors on an FZ09 or any other bike with these type of OEM weights on the end, you can buy just the mirrors, and they do mount directly to bars or your bar ends with a little bit of vibration. Now, on the websites it says adapters are required. Well, I looked at it and I said, well, these should bolt right on, you know. I don't know what that exactly means, so I didn't get them. Well, I figured, okay, maybe they're for, because they say they're for directly mounting mirrors or Rizoma bar end weights, their own brand. Said, well, maybe you know, somehow the mirrors directly mount to them. They're going to be a different, much lighter weight than the OEMs to bring them back more closer to stock. So, okay, I'll try it. And they were only like 15 bucks. Well, all you get with those are exactly what I thought they would be, except they're not. They go completely flush into the bar and the grip. There is nothing for the mirror to then grab onto. What they are is an adapter for the Rizoma brand sliders and bar end grip, bar end weights. Now, why you would want to just change the weights from OEM to a different brand that do the same thing and look the same, I have no idea, but you can, you have that option. Their ones with integrated sliders have a little bit of color on them. So if you want a little red ring, you can spend 60 bucks and do that. I don't know why you would do that, but it's available. So all these do is change the inner diameter from the OEM size, where the OEM weights screw into, to the Rizoma inner diameter. That's all these adapters do. So I still had to get the Rizoma bar end weights because I needed to mount the mirrors. Now, what I was hoping is that these are going to be significantly lighter to, again, bring those harmonics back into stock range to affect that vibration. I don't expect these to totally get rid of it because, frankly, adding the weight of these mirrors hanging off the ends of your bars significantly changes your harmonics. That's just the way it's going to be. I just want to at least tame it down a little bit. I can live with a little bit because I don't run this on the freeway that much. But I'm already in it for, you know, 180 bucks for these, another 15 for these. These were 35. All in all, not a bad deal. Now they have 2 different Rizoma bar ends. These are the Universal. They are smaller. I didn't see a weight spec, but they were physically smaller than the ones with integrated sliders. So you do have both options if for some reason you want to get the other kind. So let's open this up and compare it to OEM. I'll show you how to install them. They're super easy. So to get these off, you just need a big 8mm hex key. You need something without a ball end because you want a solid engagement, and you need something with leverage. Now, if you look in there, it looks like there's a little bolt to spin out. I made that mistake and I'm like, nothing fits this. It seems to be like a 4.5mm, you know, something that doesn't exist. That's not a bolt. I don't know if it's left over from manufacturing or just part of the molding of this or what, but that's not a bolt. It took me a second to figure out that the entire hole is where you put your wrench. I just couldn't see it because I was concentrating on that inner part. Now, the throttle side spins right off, no big deal. The grip on this side had a bunch of residual glue. I've already had it off, obviously. So what you have to do is hold the grip in place while you spin it and break that glue loose, otherwise it wants to twist the whole rubber. And they weren't on there that tight. With a good wrench, they'll spin right off. And you just unscrew them. So this is the residual glue that I had from the grip. Once you break it free, that's all you have to do. And here you can see what the adapters do. They just replace this inner part that's completely inside your grip. So they have absolutely nothing to do with mounting the mirrors or, well, anything else. Maybe there's some other model of Rizoma mirror that bolts through it onto the bike, but that's not how these go. These are clamp on. So that's all these do here. You can see there's no hole through here, so if there's anything that does bolt on, you can't use the OEM. Now, inside the package of the Rizoma bar end weights, we have a variety of adapters, screws, bushings, and collars, and I would imagine these are for various models of their mirrors, none of which I'll use. I got the same kit with the mirrors themselves, obviously to go on different models of bikes. And here we can see the difference in the weights themselves, and thankfully there is a huge difference. This OEM weight, number one, the adapters in here are plastic. They weigh virtually nothing. So the entire weight of this is really compared to this. It is, I would guess, 3 to 4 times a weight difference. So there is going to be a significant difference in the vibrations. I don't know if it's going to be good or bad, but it's going to be different. A lot of people have the misnomer that vibrations are due to things moving. I had a lot of people say, oh, just put some rubber around the bar and put your mirror. That's not why you get vibrations. It's not from things shaking around or anything like that. The entire weight of the bar is a tuned harmonic. You have vibrations coming through from the engine through to various parts of the bike. These bars have a certain length and a certain weight. They are going to vibrate just like a glass when you sing to it is going to vibrate at a sympathetic vibration. By changing the amount of weight at the bar, it changes where that vibration is. Sometimes you can tune it out, and sometimes you're just moving it up or down the RPM range. So that's why you have different weights to put into your bars. That's why if you mount your phone to different parts of the bar, it's going to vibrate at different rates. So you just have to trial and error it, really. But you can see here that the OEM is a much different inner diameter. So now this guy just has a through hole. There's no threads in it. It really does weigh almost nothing. Seriously, it's almost the same weight as this adapter. So I'm really excited. And this just goes in here. There's a little tiny built-in recess. Just holds it in place there. And we're going to bolt it in. Now the clamp-on mirror goes over here. There's barely enough room, so it should look very flush. It does obviously stick out a little bit less. It's about 2/3 the width of the OEM weight. So the mirror will come in just a little bit more than I had it on these. That's okay. And then we'll go take it for a ride. And I'm crossing my fingers that it's going to be the right combo. Woohoo! Man, I'll tell you what, you want broken English? Read a Rizoma manual. This is like Chinglish, man. It's bad. They really should have hired someone to translate the Italian. It's terrible. Oh yeah, you want to see how ridiculous this is to try to read? You figure out how small that font is. It is about 1/32 of an inch tall. I seriously need a magnifying glass to read the instructions. Way to go, Rizoma. Now, through trial and error, because there are no instructions anywhere for this combination, what you have to do is pre-assemble this ahead of time. They give you 2 sets of bolts. You use the longer bolt. It goes directly into the new weight and then directly through the adapter. Then you have this knurled lock washer, and then this little knurled cap. And this has to be really tight before you put this on, because you're tightening the whole assembly with the same bolt. And like I said, trial and error. I've had this on and off a few times. It is a real bitch to get this back out when this is loose and just spinning in the inside of your bar. Let me tell you what. And here's a trick: if you accidentally do that, spin your Allen and then pull. And what it does is just slowly starts to loosen it, and then when you get a little bit of a gap, put a zip tie through there and you can tug on it while you spin and eventually get it back out. This is a terrible, terrible design. Hopefully this will snug up on that lock washer and then snug up the adapter into the bar, and it is. Okay. Whew. So there you go. There's your winning combination. And there is just slightly about a millimeter gap. That's absolutely perfect for the throttle side. So now I'll go do the other one. Now with the OEM bar weights and these reverse retro clamp-ons, you use this small bushing to take up the gap difference between the OEMs and the mirror. And they give you several different bushings for various outer diameter weights. Now these Rizomas are advertised so that your mirror can bolt directly onto them. Not the case. There is far too much slop, and even tightening this up all it will go, it does not cinch up. It just about wants to break the bolt, pinching that all the way closed, and it still doesn't fit. I mean, it's clearly a big difference. And this small bushing is far too big to allow this to slide on. It's just plain the wrong combination. So what I had to do is cut one of the bushings in half, and that takes up the perfect amount of gap to then go ahead and install the mirror. You want to install it as far out to the edge as possible to give yourself enough clearance to your grip, especially on the throttle side. So I'm going to go ahead and stand where the camera is, get this installed, and we'll go out and test. Oh, and I should note that the mirrors did come with caps to plug the holes on your stock bars. Now I did order the Yamaha parts. The Yamaha parts are definitely better looking. They're thicker, they're rubber, they're a little larger diameter, and they cover the hole a little better. They look more stock. These are plastic and they just don't quite match the paint. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the Yamahas. Hey, you guys get a voiceover because I just had a catastrophic audio failure of my 20S, which I just did a little video about a few hours ago. So, long story short, I went out, I tested, I went through all RPMs, up to highway speed again, and I am very happy to say that it is 95% as good as the complete stock configuration. There is just a tiny bit of buzz there, but it is imperceptible to most people. If you hadn't known what was causing it, you would think it's just the normal motorcycle feel. So, long story short, for 230 bucks, you get the mirrors, you need the adapters, and you need the Universal Rizoma weights. Those three things get you perfect looking mirrors, a beautiful sight picture you can actually see behind you, top quality, and with the help of this video, an easy install. So there you go, guys. Hope this helps somebody. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, share it, subscribe. Love it. That really helps the channel. And we'll see you next time.